latest update on Invest 90L for the Florida area at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, May 24th. Invest 90L had winds of 35 miles an hour and a pressure of 1009 millibars. If you can't see it, it's because it's just towards the bottom of the image and there's not much to it anyway, and it's just along the Yucatan coast, but it could enter the Gulf and develop into a tropical cyclone. As you may be well aware, the National Hurricane Center have 90% chance of formation in the next 5 days and 70% chance in the next 2 days. Now, earlier today the GFS modeler was predicting a significant tropical cyclone to be affecting the area. It seems to have not done that at the latest run, as you can see here, but that may well be a glitch and it may come back on board in the next run. But earlier we were looking at significant tropical storm conditions and possibly even a hurricane according to the HWRF model. As of right now it's at 19.6 degrees north, 87.8 degrees west, and there it is, somewhere along the coast of Mexico, but doesn't really have a circulation and no warnings are in effect at this point. Obviously it's not yet a tropical cyclone, but the National Hurricane Center is pretty adamant that it will become one. Regardless of development, let's take a look at what the eventual rain effects will be from this system. And as you can see, over most of Florida there are going to be wet conditions, especially as we enter the weekend along the western coast, of course, and Tampa northwards, by the looks of things here, is being suggested as the main points for rainfall along the coast, really. As to amounts, not yet clear, but obviously we're going to see some flood-related watches and warnings start to come into effect. Indeed, we already are starting to see some of the advanced warnings coming into effect already along the western coast around the Panhandle as well. Sea surface temperatures are certainly not an obstacle for this potential system. Up to 28 degrees Celsius, that's around 82 Fahrenheit, more than enough to sustain a significant tropical cyclone. And this is the latest radar imagery right now. You can see just towards the south there a little bit of significant rainfall in Florida itself, some significant thunderstorms occurring mainly in the western and northwestern part of the state. Looking at the National Weather Service on their different areas in Florida, you can see the Florida Keys there, not much going on there just yet, but a chance of rain coming into this evening with lows in the mid-70s. Further north in the Miami area, you can see they're picking up on the tropical development, and they're saying very heavy rain in South Florida may lead to flooding late Friday through Monday, and isolated tornadoes are also possible. This is a Tampa region that we're looking at there, talking about the overnight lows tonight down to around 72. There is a flood advisory in the area just northwest of Tampa, so that's the latest there, chances of rain as well. And this is what it's looking like further north in Jacksonville, higher chances of rain inland as the temperatures go down to the high 60s. And as you can see on the left hand side there, the graphic, all the green areas are usually flood related warnings, and as you can see they're preparing for this particular area here around the Tallahassee, Panama City area for significant rain and possible flood conditions, and also surf as well. Already a surf warning advisory in the Panama City area. And the Pensacola area is also picking up on that tropical update. 90% chance in the next 5 days as mentioned, and impacts will depend on how the system evolves, as they quite rightly say. Well, here it is right now in terms of wind shear. It's on a very fine line and very high wind shear amounts ahead of the storm, but rather lowering amounts along the coast of the Gulf Coast states, mainly further north there. So that is something to watch out for perhaps, and that wind shear may decrease. Here's how the system is actually looking right now. It's in the Western Caribbean, just off the Yucatan Peninsula, and as you can see, it's a little bit of a mess. But as we see with these systems, they are usually have quite a reputation for delivering significant amounts of rainfall, usually in a big long train of clouds and convective activity. We'll see whether it plays out that way or whether it gets some more organisation, but looking at that water vapour imagery there, it's not looking conducive just at the moment, but stay tuned. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com. You can also find our YouTube channel, you're probably there already. Subscribe if you haven't though, with more video updates on the way, no doubt. You can also find our Facebook and Twitter pages. Search Force 13 all in text and like and follow those pages too. You can also add Force 13 on Skype and my personal account on Discord, Fool13, at extension 9094 for tropical weather chat. We also have Force 13's regional branch for the US and Caribbean, where other team members may be providing updates. You might want to keep tabs on that as well.